welcome once again to Caleb Likes Books. Today I have my TBR for the month of September 2024. This month I'm going with a monthly theme. I don't do these super often, but this is one that I've had in mind for a while that I kind of wanted to do, which is what I am calling Surprise September, which for this month I decided that with one book aside, which is going to be my reread for the month, that I'm going to try to do because I didn't get to it in August. Other than that, it is going to be exclusively either books that I own but I don't really know anything about, because there have been several books that I've actually bought just because I thought they seemed like they might be interesting based on like the cover or like reading the back of the book or whatever. You know, like if I had a big book haul, I would just like throw in some random book that looked interesting. Or I work at a grocery store, and sometimes they have like a book donation bin where you can grab a book that they have there, and something I might see there might look cool, so I'll grab it, or things like that. Just something that I have but I don't really know anything about, or a book that I have and is a type of book that I don't typically read. So it might be from a genre I don't typically read, or something like that, or a combination of both. And so I figured this would be a month where I could go for like a lot of variety, a lot of stuff that I don't really know much about, something where I can just kind of go into some books blind, or some books that I just don't typically read, these kinds of things. So I thought it would be fun. So to get started, I do have a couple of holdovers from last month, which I'm going to talk about, because in August I had a few books that I really wanted to get to, which I did, thankfully, and also some other ones that I wanted to get to, some of which I did, some of which I didn't. So first things first, I'm still going to be finishing up Malazan, Book of the Fallen, Deadhouse Gates, the second book in that series. I'm recording this video a bit ahead of time, about a week ahead of time. By the time this video comes out, I intend to have either finished the book or be close to it, just the way that I'm thinking things are going to go. And so that'll be getting finished up. But as far as stuff that I am actually going to be reading this month, my reread for the month, which was also on my TBR last month, is Mistborn, the Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. Not going to talk much about this one. I've been rereading the trilogy, reread the first two earlier in the summer, really enjoyed them. And so this is the third one that I'm going to be rereading. Really looking forward to it. And then we also have Godkiller by Hannah Kaner. This is the first book in the Fallen Gods series. This is one that I figured if I didn't get to it in August, it would still fit the September theme, because this is a book that I really know nothing about. I just bought it based on the cover and because I had seen some reviews for it before, but I didn't really remember much from them. So this was kind of one that would also fit the monthly theme. So again, don't know much about it, but I like the cover and it sounds like it could be cool, so looking forward to reading that one. So to get into some of the new books that I haven't talked about yet, first one is one that I actually just decided on a whim that I'm going to add to the list that I wasn't initially planning on, but I decided to, which is The Hunger Games, the first book in the Hunger Games trilogy. This is one of the ones that more so fits the something that I don't typically read, because I don't really read much like dystopian type stuff. The Hunger Games is a series that I am familiar with. I've seen the movies a couple of times and really enjoyed them. And I've read a little bit of the audiobook for this first book because my wife has it on audiobook. And I've listened to a little bit of it with her, and I enjoyed what little bit of it I heard. It was only maybe an hour or so of the beginning of the book. I want to read through the trilogy because I've never done it before. And this one I thought would be fun because it's something a little different, and it's a popular book that I haven't read, which I do want to read more of. So looking forward to reading that. I really enjoyed the movies, so I'm curious to see how the books kind of stack up to the movies. Next one that I have is going to be A Time to Kill by John Grisham. This is another one that kind of fits both categories. I don't know a whole lot about it, but it is also one that is very different from the usual for me. I have never read a legal thriller before, and this is one that came with very high recommendations from my friend Jonathan Cohn. He really loves John Grisham and really likes this book. And so one day I saw this and I picked it up because he really liked it, and I thought, hey, I've never read anything like this before, so it could be fun. So don't really know what to expect going into this. I have no clue whatsoever what I will think of it. Like something like this is so far out of my usual that I don't even know, like, even the slightest bit whether I will like it or whether I won't. So we'll see. This should be a fun one, hopefully. Something really different that'll be kind of out of the usual for me. So really looking forward to that one. Next one on the list, to kind of take a quick break from some of the surprise September type picks, because there are a couple of non-surprise books on here. I have one called Falling into Oblivion by Aaron M. Payne, I believe, who is also on YouTube as the channel Bibliotheory. Some of you may know him. And this is his first book that he's releasing, I believe, in October, and he sent out advance copies to people so they could read them and review them, and I was lucky enough to receive one. And so I will be reading Falling into Oblivion this month. Don't really know much about it other than it's like a cyberpunk type thing, but this does also actually, now that I think about it, fit the theme of the month, because I've never read a cyberpunk. In fact, I've never really experienced any media of the cyberpunk genre that I am thinking of anyway. So this will also be something pretty different. Excited to check this one out. Seems like it'll be really cool, and I love the cover for it too, which is nice. So looking forward to reading that one. Another one to kind of go a little bit less with the theme of the month, but one that I wanted to get to is going to be The Litany of Earth by Ruthanna Emrys. This is a novella, and the reason I'm reading this, this is like a Lovecraftian cosmic horror type thing, which even that I don't read a huge amount of. It's one of my favorite genres, but I don't read a ton of it, and I want to read more. But the reason I'm reading this is because next month in October, I'm planning to read the Innsmouth Legacy duology by the same author, novella that's set before that duology. And I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to read it because I couldn't, like, I knew that it was in some physical copies and things like that, but I didn't have access to them. But it turns out that this novella has been published in full by Tor online, so I can read it for free that way, which I'd prefer to read a print version, but I do want to read this before I read the Innsmouth Legacy duology, so I figured if I couldn't get a physical copy, I'd just read it online. And so I'm looking forward to this one, really looking forward to reading that duology. So I figured, you know, since this takes place prior to that and isn't necessarily like essential from what I hear, but is good to read, you know, I'm looking forward to reading it, and I'm really looking forward to reading the duology next month. That's one that I've been really looking forward to for a long time, so I'm excited. Next one that I have is going back to kind of the theme of the month, which is going to be Dragonslayer by, I believe, Duncan Hamilton, if I remember correctly. This is one of the ones that I picked up on a whim, kind of like Godkiller, where I didn't really know anything about it, but I thought it looked really cool. I love this cover. I love the cover of all the books in this series, actually. I think it's a trilogy. This is a fantasy book that I don't really know anything about, other than that I assume it involves dragons, which pretty much sells me immediately. So hoping I enjoy this one. It seems like it's not a super well-known one. It only has like 1,000 or 2 reviews on Goodreads or something like that. So not a super well-known book, but it's one that I'm excited to read. It looks really cool. It should be pretty quick. It's a short one. I think under 300 pages or thereabouts. So looking forward to reading that one. And the final book on my TBR, got quite a few on my TBR this month, but several of these are actually very short, like that novella, and Godkiller and Dragonslayer are both around 300 pages, as well as this last one I think is under 200 pages, or maybe under 300, I can't remember, but it's not very long, which is Confessions of a Pagan Nun. I forget the name of the author off the top of my head. This was a more recent buy for me. It was a couple months ago. This I think is like a historical fiction, kind of like an Irish historical fiction, which again, not something that I usually read and not a book I know anything about, so it fits the theme. And this is one just based on the title. I thought the title sounded really interesting, and the fact that I don't really read any historical fiction or anything, I might like to read some more of it, but it's not something that I'm really that well versed in, so I thought it would be fun to read. I thought it would be short. It's, like I said, only 200-300 pages, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. This is one that, even though I don't really know anything about it, it's one I've been very much looking forward to just because it sounds really interesting. So hopefully I enjoy that one as well. So that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know in the comments if you happen to have read any of these books and what you thought of them if so. Got quite a few on my list this month, more than my usual. Last month I only got to a handful handful of books, and then this month I'm really kind of stocking up on them. But these are all pretty short, and I think I should be able to get to all of them, or at least most of them, because there are a lot of short books on this list. You know, everything from a novella to, you know, just short novels, and then a couple longer ones. Hero of Ages and Time to Kill are pretty long, but I think I should be able to get to most or all of these, and I'm looking forward to doing so because it's a lot of different stuff that I'm not really sure exactly what all of it is, but I think it'll be a lot of fun, and hopefully you all enjoy hearing my thoughts on all these books. So that's pretty much it for today, so thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time.